I've come to realize from looking at some of the discussions that I've seen lately on Facebook that a lot of women really don't understand what it means to be respected in a relationship. So, what I want to do, they also don't understand what it means to respect a man. So, what I'm going to do in the next two videos, this one is the first, I'm going to go over some of the issues that present themselves in a relationship that is showing marked disrespect. And then I'm going to give you an idea of what respect looks like. Okay, because I'm not sure where the breakdown in communication is taking place. I'm also not sure how people are being raised so that they don't have these basic concepts about how to respect not only themselves but others in place. So, that's not really my role here to try to, talk about what coulda, woulda, shoulda, and all that old stuff. What I do is just deal with what is and then give you the tools to fix it. That's what I perceive to be my role in your world. So let's begin by defining what respect means. I took a screenshot off of, I don't know, some dictionary website, but basically in what respect looks like when you're in any kind of situation, work, a social club, neighbors, parents, whatever, and especially in romantic relationships. When you respect someone, you basically hold that person in high regard. You basically admire them for their abilities, for some standards of qualities that they present, their achievements perhaps. You may be looking for them as a mentor or a role model. But that's what respect is. It's basically admiration and appreciation. So when you have a situation, ladies, where you're in a relationship with a dude who's sarcastic, he puts you down, and he makes you feel little and small and like you're not good enough by the words he uses and the behaviors that he demonstrates towards you, that is disrespect. And in every case I can think of, that kind of treatment chips away not only at your self-esteem but also at the relationship. So little by little the relationship will die until you just really look at him and you just feel nothing. And guys really don't understand that sense of apathy. All along, women are giving you chances to switch your behavior around, stop talking to them crazy, and treat them better. Was when a woman loves you, she's going to give you a lot of chances. But if you don't respect her, if there's no basic respect there, your behavior does not change. You don't check yourself. The guys don't do it. And so little by little, her love for you dies until the day comes she leaves you. And then you want to sit there and act all brand new and shocked and surprised, like, she's crazy and it just came out of the blue. When in reality, your lack of respect for her, lack of appreciation, has put her in a position where there's no benefit to her to stay in the relationship with you. She's not getting anything out of it. So, in a healthy relationship, you will see how the partners respect each other. And it's like respect is demonstrated in an ongoing basis. It's not just something that is kind of divvied out at the beginning enough to, quote, get you. It's a continual process, and I'm going to repeat this when I do the video for how women can respect men. It's something that you demonstrate on a daily basis. And from some studies I was reading, they say that respect is a stronger predictor of relationship satisfaction for couples than love or liking or attachment or any of those kind of things. If love and respect are like neck and neck to every other aspect of relationship that we always think are so important, like communication and common values and all that stuff. Those things come in as well, but respect and love are the top two. And when you have respect in a relationship, you demonstrate that by your loyalty to the person, by caring about what's going on in their world, what's happening to them, if they have problems or concerns that you can protect them from. And it also involves reciprocation, and allowing your partner the space for personal growth and for their own interests and hobbies and for a certain amount of autonomy. Now, this comes up head against the common belief, especially in the African American community, that women must submit to men's will. And I know all my friends out here listening who are the Bible thumping crowd, don't even bother. I already know, I'm an atheist. I don't believe in all that shit. So it's like I don't deal with religion from millions of years ago or any of that kind of stuff. I deal with what is and behavior. I don't care what modifies behavior, what you think is the source of the behavior. I'm talking about the behavior itself and how it harms women. And being in a situation with a man who thinks he dominates and controls you because of some ancient ass book is a problem, because he's not showing you the respect that you deserve. And really, if those submissive relationships were so great, grand, and wonderful, then we wouldn't have a higher divorce rate in the Bible thumping South, where people who go run to church and believe in the Bible, read the Bible all the time. There's obviously a disconnect. So men want you to submit to them, but they're not adhering to the principles of which you are being where submission is being demanded of you. So see, that's why I say you got to look at what is, not what you would like it to be, because it's not that. It's showing marked lack of respect for the fact that you are a person separate and apart from him. You guys are not joined at the hip, and that you have your own mind, your own dreams, your own goals, your own choices that you are entitled to make. And as an adult citizen of the United States of America, you can have a happy situation with a guy as long as he gives you the respect and the space to do so. That should never be controlled by some third party. Now, I think one of the things, your kids, your children, get a great sense of themselves. And I'm going to do another video later about self-esteem, but I just want to throw this in here right now. When you trust your children to make sound decisions, and even if they make a mistake, you support them, encourage them, and try to help them get back on track. That's how people build self-esteem, because they are given the space to make mistakes, but then supported in return. And so when you don't have that as a young woman or a girl, you grow up in a situation where you're looking for somebody to tell you what to do and how to do it, because you're afraid of making a mistake. You're afraid that if you do or say something wrong, that it's going to cost you the relationship. And I think that is at least a big portion of why so many women are like thirsty as hell. That's what I keep seeing on Facebook. It's like unfucking believable. The thirst, the actual parchedness of these women, over these ashy dick dudes. And the dudes show them no respect. And you don't really care about him. I mean, the women are chasing around trying to see if the dude's cheating and what he's doing online, all this stuff. If you have a guy that you feel that insecure about, that man is not treating you with respect. I don't understand why you guys don't get that. You do not have to be in a situation like that. You're choosing to. After you recognize what's going on, then you're making a choice to stay with the man who has no respect for you whatsoever. And I do not understand that. So, it's like these guys. So I remember when I was on this radio show out of Chicago, and this guy called in, right? We were talking about my book, The Black Church, and this was the first time I'd ever heard this shit. And he's like, well, when you get married, your body becomes, your husband's. It belongs to him. And I'm like, the fuck it does. It's like, because if something happens to me, it's sure not happening to him. I get in a car accident and get blinded or leg missing. I don't see that motherfucker losing a limb. So I don't understand how this thing, you're an extension of me, even applies. And, your woman is not an extension of you. She's not you. She's not a reflection of you. She's not your toy. She's not your pet. She's not your project. She's your product. She's nothing. She is herself. And you need to respect the fact that she's a different person with different needs than you are. And ladies, you need to understand that and accept that about yourself. You also need to understand that, when a man respects you, he sees you as something valuable. He sees you as worthy of his attention and his admiration, his time. And I mean, you shouldn't have to chase around begging him for attention. I mean, sometimes, guys do tend to be kind of one track minded, and they have to be reminded that, you guys haven't spent much time together lately or something like that. But once you tell him, or you ask for his time, or you ask him to do something with you, that motherfucker's supposed to be Johnny on the spot. He's not supposed to be having all these things that he needs to do with his boys or something else before you. You should be a priority. Your happiness should be a priority, and that's one of the key ways that men show respect. He's taking care of you. He's making sure that your needs to be close to him are met. And that is, I think, one of the key things that's missing. So a lot of women just basically start, drifting away from their men, and the guys just let it happen because why? There's no respect. If he respected and valued you and he saw you starting to drift away, he would be like, oh my God, wait a minute, baby, wait, whoa, what's going on here? What you need me to do, just tell me. I'm not really liking this. I want us to stay close. I don't want us to break up. I don't want us to get a divorce. I want to keep my home happy. And believe it or not, dudes, that's one of the ways that guys show leadership. And they always talking about they want to be a lead. Well, motherfucker, lead then. You see some shit's going wrong, fix it. That's how you show leadership. Don't be thinking that you just run around and running your mouth and telling women what to do is what you do as a leader. But so, what I wanted to do too, I wanted to cover some of the ways that you could see to make it just really obvious to the ladies. What are some of the ways that you are being disrespected? Well, one of the three, I guess it's four now that I think about it. There's 4 things in a relationship that are mandatory. You have to have, commitment, a sense of commitment, of course. There has to be respect. There has to be intimacy. And there has to be the interest in forgiveness. Because, you're going to fight as a couple. It's not going to be peaches and cream every day. But you can't really hold on to that little stuff. And if you have respect for your partner, these conflicts are going to be resolved in a way that brings the relationship back to wholeness without injuring either partner. So if you have a guy who he's more concerned about winning than he is about resolving the problems, so that he resorts to name calling, he resorts to violence, he resorts to cheating, any of those kind of things that that harm you and damage the relationship in an irreparable way, damages trust, injures you to the point where you just really question his loyalty and his trustworthiness, then your relationship is on the downhill slope. And that's one that's one key way, or several key ways that disrespect is demonstrated. Another way that is done, and this is crucial because this happens a lot to women, and for some reason y'all take it. Dude starts telling you, let me take a sip. Starts telling you what's wrong with you. Now, what I just said, respect shows appreciation, admiration, right? So if he starts harping on what's wrong with you, how is that showing appreciation for you? Now, when we talk about stuff, you notice I'm always talking about behaviors. I'm not talking about the person. I'm talking about their behaviors and their treatment of women. And that is, there's not an indictment of every single individual, but it is an indictment of that behavior pattern. And that is what you have to stick to if you are in a relationship with somebody and you don't want to destroy the relationship. You talk about the behavior and how it affected you. You don't just start calling, you just a stupid bitch, you just a hoe, you just a this, you just that. Because see, now they're attacking you as a person. And when someone attacks you as an individual and they call themselves being in a relationship with you where they're supposed to be loving you and respecting you, that's showing marked disrespect. So if you hear that kind of stuff, out of your partner's mouth, you got to let him know, hey, there's nothing wrong with me as a person. Now, you may not have liked what I just did. You may not have liked what I just said, but that doesn't make me a bad person. Like, you attacking me right now, you destroying our relationship. You need to watch your goddamn mouth. And see, that would be when it's time to say something like that. Another key way that guys show that they don't respect you is they don't fucking listen. I mean, if what someone is saying to you is important, even if what they're saying is not important, they're important. So you give them your time and your full attention. How hard is that? I mean, you got to figure most people work every day, right? So you only see each other for a few hours a day during the week, and then you might have the weekends together. But people usually have errands to run and stuff to do then too. So the actual time you get to spend with your partner listening to them should be considered very precious time. And even if ladies, even if what you're telling him is kind of mundane, like about your day and, this and that, or something with the kids, or, something about your parents or something. These are things that are on your mind that are important to you. That's why you're thinking about them, and that's why you're talking about them. I'm not talking about some shit like on TV and housewives and all that little stuff. I'm talking about personal things that affect you or your household, your relationship. Okay, he needs to be listening to that kind of stuff. If he shuts you out, he interrupts you. He talks over you. He makes a snarl face. He rolls his eyes. He gets up and walks the fuck out the room, or turns on the TV, or raises the volume, or anything like that happens. He is showing you disrespect. He's showing you right there that I don't really give a fuck about what you're talking about. I don't give a fuck about you. I don't care about how you're feeling right now, because it's irrelevant. What now? I want to do this thing here, and what you might need me for, I'm not going to be there for you, because I don't want to hear what you got to talk about. That is a huge, huge problem. And that breakdown in communication, that stonewalling, where you just basically sit there and you look at him, you can tell he's not listening. And you sit there and you look at him, and the hurt on every woman's face who I've ever seen in a situation like that, she just looks so hurt. I've seen that a lot in restaurants. The couples out, even like when new couples, they sit close to each other and they talk about a bunch of nothing. It sounds like nothing, but they're smiling at each other and being playful and this and that. Those words are bonding them together. But you see a lot of couples that, have been together for a long time. He sits on one side of the table, she sits on the other, and, he's playing on his phone, or she's just looking at him, waiting for him to pay some attention to her, and he just doesn't do it. And I've seen that over and over and over, and the women just look so sad. It's heartbreaking. So listening, you gotta have, your man needs to listen to you. And, if he's like, you see him tuning out, you just, bring him back, say, are you listening? Did you hear what I said? You don't have to say it with cuss words. Just, remind him that he's supposed to be listening to you now. It's your guys' turn to talk and bond and whatever. What I used to find worked really well with my husband, because he was, that boy, I don't know, he was kind of loony. But what I found worked really well with him is when I turned off other sensory input. Like, I wouldn't talk to him while he was watching television or listening to music or reading a book or anything like that. And I would reduce the lights, that seemed to really help him. It's like he would like tune in to me better. It was really weird. So I'd dim the lights, and I'd say, turn off the TV or turn off the music. And I say, I really want to talk to you. And I would sit down next to him, and I would hold his hand or sit in his lap and kiss him or something like that. That seemed to do the trick. I mean, whatever else that nigga was thinking about, he would just drop it, and he would like lock eyes with me, and then we could have a real conversation. And that worked like a charm all the years while we were together before he died. And it was something I just kind of stumbled on one day, and it worked like a charm. So, you ladies are invited to try that as well if you think that might work with your dude. Now, if you have a dude who feels like he always has to have things his way, now you're going to have another problem. This is another way that men show disrespect, because your needs are not important at all. All he's talking about is what he wants. That relationship has to be a two-way street. You got to be like, there has to be some compromise. There got to be some negotiation sometimes. You have to go, there has to be some input from both people to reach a mutually satisfying agreement. Okay, his desires should never take priority over yours. There has to be an agreement. Now, even if it's like, well, this time he does what he wants to do, and then next time you do what you want to do, there's still an agreement there. You see what I'm saying? It's just not always him having his needs met while you sacrifice yours. Now, this also includes other types of behaviors where he has his way, where he might, manipulate. He may use coercion. He may leave out vital information to kind of get you to go along with something that if you had all the facts you wouldn't go along with. He may cheat. He may outright lie to you. So these are behaviors that also, all those things I just listed, indicate marked disrespect, because a man who values you and his relationship with you is going to tell you the truth, even if it's scary for him. He's not going to lie to you, and he'll just, I'm not to say you have to go crazy and stuff. You got to make it safe for him to tell you the truth, ladies, and that, I guess we need to talk about that another time. But you got to make the space for him to tell you the truth about what he's thinking, feeling, or what happened, whatever. You got to be quiet, and you have to let him tell you. And then you can't flip the fuck out when he does. Okay, if you're gonna have a flip out moment, leave the house, go on the phone in the car, drive away, meet your girlfriends for lunch, flip out with her or on the phone, and then go back go back home with your mind right. You got to make it safe for him to tell you the truth. And women whose men will tell them everything, even to like the fact that he got a pimple on his ass. Seriously, it sounds stupid, but I'm telling you, I'm serious right now. If he will tell you everything, and you have done a really good job of making your environment safe for your men to talk to you, non-judgmentally, reactionary, just calm and okay, I can handle this. If he's afraid that you can't handle the truth, he's not going to tell it to you. But likewise, you got to stand up to him if he's going to try to always have stuff his way. You got to let him know, no, that's unacceptable. That's not going to happen. Now, another way that they show disrespect is they disrespect your friends or your family. Nobody's saying they have to be on the exact same page and love them like you do, but they need to be respectful at least of them and as your relationship, your relationship with them. Because once you get with somebody, whether you dating them or married to them, there's going to be times when, you blend families, and you're going to be around his family, he's going to be around yours. There has to be some respect there. And, even if you're only just polite to them, you don't really gonna go hang around and have lunch with them and all this old stuff. There still has to be a way for you guys to be in an environment where you're sharing space and everybody gets along, and he's not gonna later hit you with, your auntie is a bitch and this and that and blah, blah, blah. He might think it, but he has enough sense to not say it to you. Okay, if you got a man who's saying that kind of stuff, your family is stupid, they crazy, they this and that. Okay, he's showing you disrespect, because whether what he's saying is true or not, the fact that they're your relatives and you don't speak about them like that, that does not give him the right to do it either. So you need to check his ass. If he continues it, I don't know what you're gonna do. That's between you and him. But that's some shit I just would not tolerate. It's like, you need to watch your goddamn mouth and not be talking about people that I love and care about like that. That is just so disrespectful. Another way where they show disrespect is they just be mean to you just for no goddamn reason that you can figure out. They want to hurt your feelings, and they all, because their goal is to win, right? They want to come out on top. It's not about, can I build my relationship better by being kind and generous and thoughtful and considerate. What they want to do is just snap, snarl, be mean, say cruel stuff, and belittle you, call you names, shout at you, use threatening language, or they're judgmental and condemning and accusing you of stuff that you didn't do. They use these nasty tones of voices. All this kind of stuff is showing meanness, and it's showing disrespect for your feelings. No man should ever talk to the woman he claims to love in that way. That is just outright just ridiculous. Yet a lot of women take it, because like I said earlier, there's some real thirst out here, and with women desperate to be married, desperate to have a man, desperate to not be single. So you guys take all this disrespect, but That's not a man showing you love. So you're in an empty relationship. It's a relationship in name only. There's no joy there. There's no happiness. There's just, fear of loss, which is what is motivating you to stay in that relationship. I want you to stop doing that. And ladies, if any of the stuff I'm saying just really seems really hard for you to conceptualize, please look into getting some therapy. There's no shame in getting some professional help, because a lot of people have issues from their childhood. A lot of parents were fucked up, and they did some fucked up shit to their kids. And yes, you've made it to adulthood. You went through school, you got a job and all that. But emotionally and psychologically, you have some deep wounds that you need to fix. And those wounds will keep you stuck in a situation where you accept less respect and less joy and less happiness, less love from a person in a relationship that you should ever take. And you don't really understand that that's what you're doing to yourself. So please, group therapy is a great way to do that, because it's way less expensive, and you actually get to hear stories from other women, and you'll understand that you're not alone. So I highly recommend, that you look into that. Now, how can you look for a man to show you respect? What kind of things should he be doing? In addition to those that I mentioned, he should be considerate. Okay? That means that he helps with housework. He don't sit on his ass watching TV demanding that you do everything like he's a fucking infant and your name is Mabel. He will give you compliments. He'll be thoughtful towards things that you need and what you do for him. He'll be appreciative. Okay, that's one way that men will show respect. Another way is that they will admit when they're wrong. He's not going to let his ego come before his relationship and the love that he has for you. He's going to be a thoughtful, considerate kind of dude, and he's going to, look at what he's done that may have contributed to you being upset or some problem in the household, and he's going to apologize for it. And some of them will even ask you, what you would have preferred that he do. And that is a smart man, because he's still, okay, I did this one fuck up. I'm not going to do this shit again. What, because it caused him too much. It's like, it's heartbreaking if you guys are really close and he did something that's really fucked up, and it really hurts you to where you withdraw from him. Most men, if they're in a situation with loving a woman, and they're used to her rubbing all over him and kissing on him and being all up in his face, when she pulls back, he's going to really miss that. And he's going to make sure that he doesn't do that thing again. Now, this is not to say he won't do something else stupid, but he's not going to do that again. And so he will come and he will say, I'm sorry, I did this and that or this. Please tell me what I should have done or what I can do next time that won't have this result, because I can't stand it when you don't kiss me. You don't want me to touch you. Okay. The guy who shows respect will also be protective. Now, on my advice column, and I've gotten several letters where the women have husbands who don't protect them. His own family will attack them, and his wife, and say nasty stuff about her. And these guys, instead of standing up for their wife and checking their family members, will throw up their hands like some weak bitch punk men and say, well, I'm in the middle. I can't be in the middle. That's my mama, that's my sister, that's his that. Okay, you know what? Go over there and fuck your mama and fuck your sister then. That's what you need to do. Because see, if you pick this woman and she's the one that you're living with, who's taking care of you and who's born your children, and it takes care of them as well in your whole household, and you motherfucker gonna side with some bitch that just because you grew up with her. She got her own man in her own house and her own family. She's not thinking about you. She just want to start some shit with your wife. You need to check her ass. I don't even give a fuck if it's your mother. You need to check her too. But these guys don't do that. So see, they're showing marked disrespect. A man who is respectful will also honor your boundaries. This means if you're going to go out and spend some time with your friends, he's not going to throw a fit and be like, well, you should be going with them and all that stuff. He's going to honor and respect the fact that you need time apart. You need bonding time with your female friends, your female relatives. He's going to not do like one of the women posted on here with her sister or sister, half sister or something, had an ex-husband who used to like grab her butt and breast and everything right in front of everybody, in front of the kids. I mean, he was showing her just ridiculous disrespect. That is a boundary violation of major proportions, and he just didn't give a shit. So eventually, of course, it led to their divorce. Another way that men will show respect is that even if he has to say something to you that's, he's kind of checking you, or you did something you shouldn't have done, or you forgot to do something you should have done, or, he didn't like something that happened, or whatever. Okay, whatever his issue is, he will very carefully choose the words that he uses to talk to you. Okay, he is not going to set up a hostile environment, with yelling and cussing and name calling and profanity and all this old, just loud, just evil ass behavior, throwing shit, all this kind of stuff. He's going to choose his words carefully because he does not want to do anything that's going to set you off. And most women, of course, don't like to be criticized. I guess men don't either. But, if someone presents something in a way that they can get through to you, most people will accept it well. A lot of this is your own maturity, lady. So, if you find yourself always getting all super defensive because he's talking about something that you did, even and in a very respectful way, and your ass did it. Come on now. We not perfect. We're going to do some shit. Ooh, I did so much. Ooh, I was just terrible. I was terrible. I still have a bad temper, as you all know. But it used to be worse when I was younger. And I know I would fly off the handle, but I have to say, my dude, he never, ever, not one time, even raised his voice to me. And I thought about that later. I was like, wow, that's pretty amazing, because I know I did some wild shit. But, if his goal rather is to, punish you in some kind of way, or, he's just trying to like get you back, and, he uses these really just awful words and this verbal assault, then that also is not showing respect, because we got to keep our relationships on an even keel. And the best way to do that is to be as diplomatic with the word choices that you use as you can. You should not have to show some stranger more respect than you show the person that you claim to love and want to share your life with. So you got to show them the same kind of respect, if not more. And that is what he should be doing, when he has to take you to task about something. Don't call you names, don't insult your intelligence, don't attack you as a person, but talk about the behavior or, the lack thereof, and then in a way that is respectful and diplomatic. Okay? Another way that they show respect is to acknowledge the contributions that you have made to his life, to your family, to your household, whatever. Unfortunately, I've heard, a lot of women, if they're housewives or whatever, the man will come in the door because he worked all day and be like, well, you didn't really do nothing. Okay, you know what? You stay home with these fucking kids and clean this goddamn house and shop and cook and do all the stuff that I do, and let's see how long you last. So, when a man has that kind of attitude, his woman is going to feel demeaned and like she's nothing. And that is very, very disrespectful. The guys who have the best relationships, they will appreciate their woman. They're like, baby, every meal, baby, that was delicious. Thank you. I'm just really pleased that, I just feel so blessed that you're here with me. I'm just filled with so much pleasure at how, the kind of mother you are. I've really picked a great wife. I mean, you do stuff to build her up, and you acknowledge the time and the energy that she devotes to you. And you do that in a way that makes her feel good. And then she'll keep doing it, and she'll do it even more. The objective here is for your woman to feel like she's in a rewarding relationship with you. So ladies, if you have a man who does not treat you in that way, you have a problem. I don't know how you're going to approach it with him, because every man is different, how you're going to how you would bring that to his attention. But that is important. Another thing that they do that shows marked respect is that he is a man of his word. He does not want to disappoint you at all. He wants you to think that he is your hero. So if you have a man who tells you when he's going to do something, then he does it. Because seeing the disappointment of your face when he has lied to you or disappointed you or broken a promise to you is something that he cannot bear to see. Not only that, I think a lot of guys don't understand how much that kind of stuff weakens and damages the trust that you have for him in a relationship. So if you have a relationship that lacks trust, what you have is a relationship that lacks respect. So I hope that this, that this kind of gives you an idea of how respect works in a relationship, And not only are you looking for him to respect you, you must respect yourself. You have to respect your value, what you bring to the relationship, your mind, your heart, the love that you have. You have to respect all of those and place a high value on them. And when you do that, you can have a very strong and lasting and mutually supportive relationship, because that's what you demand. If you have a situation where you don't really respect yourself that much, that means you don't respect the value that you bring to this man. You only look at what he brings to you, and you feel like less than he does. You feel like you have to sacrifice to keep him. You feel like you have to take cruelty and abuse and neglect from him and abandonment and all this stuff just to have this relationship, because you don't see yourself as having much value or importance compared to him. And that to me is just the saddest thing in the world. We see that all the time in relationships with women who stay with men who mistreat them. And I wish you guys really, I'm serious about this right now. If that is something you recognize in yourself, please investigate some therapy. There's no way in this world that you should be in a situation where you're giving to a man and getting nothing in return, or worse yet, getting mistreatment and disrespect in return. That's not what a solid and healthy relationship looks like. Okay? My name is Deborrah Cooper. I am the advice columnist on survivingdating.com and askheartbeat.com. If you have questions about what I just shared with you, feel free to post them in the comment section below. I'll try to respond to them as quickly as I can. The next video coming up is going to be respecting relationships for men, and how women can show their boyfriends and husbands, the ones who deserve it, of course, the respect that they should have for being the man of your dreams. All right? Deborah Cooper signing out. I'll be back tomorrow with part 2.